Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Please turn to page 12 in your prayer book as we continue singing in Kabbalat Shabbat. We shall rise up. Romemu, Romemu. Oh, no, no. I was translating the Hebrew.
She meant it metaphorically.
Romemu. Thank you, Shir Song. Yay. Thank you, thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So in the midst of this wonderful, joyful, delightful Kabbalat Shabbat singing, as the sun is setting on our beautiful city and another week has gone by, we take a brief pause to welcome some newlyweds up to the bima to receive a wedding blessing before our community. So Chris and Ben, come on up. Chris and Ben and I haven't met in person before, but we talked last week on Zoom and found out that we live in the same neighborhood, and we both have dogs, and we're both gay married or getting gay married, and so we're going to be friends. And I'm so delighted to invite you up to this splendid sanctuary, the splendid bima with the colors rolling in, surrounded by all of these people. I know you're here with your parents, and all of these people who you may not know are beaming their joy and their pride at you as you get married in when? 1 month. So I called you up to the candle lighting table because we have 2 candlesticks representing the 2 heads of the household, this house that you're going to build together, that you're going to grow together, that you're going to enjoy together. And so we bring you up here knowing that these 2 candles, while they might look similar, they're actually 2 distinct candles, no matter how similar they look. And from what I understand, you 2 are something of polar opposites. Designer versus engineer, product versus the other thing. And we're okay. In fact, we're delighted that you've chosen each other, in spite of the differences, to build something unique and holy together. And so it's around these Shabbat candles, and it's with this mezuzah that I will present to you that's modeled after our Aron Kodesh, our ark up there, that you will, we hope, place on your doorpost, that we wish you a mazel tov, a good luck, and a siman tov u'mazel tov. Are we ready? Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov siman tov.
Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov siman tov. Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov siman tov. Yelanu. Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov siman tov. Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov siman tov. Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov siman tov.
It's now my great honor to invite up our youth and family education team for our installation message. And I would say between Natalia, Ariana, and Tori, you have over a century of service to this congregation. I don't mean each one of you, but all together.
They didn't look too happy about that
No,
statement.
I think it's pretty amazing. I got here in 1997, you were all here. And you've been welcoming people and leading this congregation for all that time. So welcome.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Tori Starks. Oh, sorry. Pause. I'm Tori Starks, and I am the Family and Adolescent Engagement Manager in the YFE.
And I'm Natalia Gomes. I'm YFE School Coordinator.
And I'm Ariana Stoke. I'm the Director of Youth and Family Education. The Baal Shem Tov said, when you hold part of the essence, you hold all of it. I'm pretty sure he was referring to one's relationship with God, but for our purposes tonight, I think this quote fits well, particularly for Rabbi Budman's installation. The three of us, we're some tough cookies. Tori and I grew up in this building. The three of us, as Rabbi Mintz mentioned, have worked together for more than 2 decades. We know the Youth and Family Education Department intimately. We know its cadence, we know its highs, we know its lows. The three of us work together instinctively. We finish each other's
Sandwiches.
and we know the program needs. This could be a pretty intimidating group to join, particularly right out of rabbinical school. Yet when Rabbi Budman joined our team, she did so seamlessly. We didn't scare you. Pretty remarkable. She did not hesitate to dive right in. She took ownership, she took leadership, she asked questions, she stepped up immediately when needed, and she stepped back, which not all rabbis do. We truly feel we have the dream team in YFE with Rabbi Budman's addition. Rabbi Budman holds in part of the essence of the educational program. She writes curriculum, she guides our teachers, and that impacts our entire program and every person who steps foot within it. Therefore, Rabbi Budman holds the program in its entirety. To be informal for a moment, Madeline, we have thoroughly enjoyed you joining our team. You've completed us. And you've joined the best team within its walls, so you're lucky. You've only made us better, and we can't wait to see what comes. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Rabbi.
With those beautiful words in our hearts, we now turn to page 28, and we rise together for the Baruch Hu.
La
The blessing known as Ma'ariv Aravim, which is found on page 30, speaks of the way in which the stars and the cosmos are aligned perfectly so that day rolls into night, rolls into day, rolls into night, seemingly infinitely. And I'm reflecting on this message on the night of Rabbi Budman's installation because many revolutions ago, we found ourselves, pre-rabbinical school, either of us, teaching Sunday school in Washington, D.C. You, me, and your now spouse, Aaron, were all teaching young and not sure of what was to come, but we trusted, and we worked, and we persevered, and we both ended up here. And so as we read this Ma'ariv Aravim blessing, I'm conscious of the ways in which the stars align for all of us. Please join with me on the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows.
מעביר יום ומאיב לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד
So one of the things that has impressed me most about Rabbi Budman is her ability to instantly connect with students of all ages. I was just at preschool parents' night last night, and Rabbi Budman, I'm sure you remember this, visited my 3-year-old daughter, then 2 at the time's class, to introduce them to the Torah, the physical Torah. And there was an entire poster board out of 6 just about Rabbi Budman's visit and the impact that it had had on their class for an entire year. And that was from one 20, 30-minute introduction to 2- and 3-year-olds. So throughout services tonight, as a tribute to Rabbi Budman and her impact on our community, we're going to be inviting up some children who are going to share their words of gratitude for Rabbi Budman. So, Rabbi Budman's led a number of B-mitzvahs, and I'm going to invite up Ella Cohen, Rafa Budman, Gabby Linden, and Ellie Baker to share some words about what their experiences were like working with Rabbi Budman.
Rabbi Budman, I feel lucky to have had you as my guide and mentor throughout my bar mitzvah journey. I remember being so nervous at the beginning and unsure if I'd ever feel prepared or confident, but from our very first meeting, you made me feel completely comfortable. I thought it might feel awkward meeting with a rabbi one-on-one, but you were always warm, kind, and so understanding of what it's like to be a 7th grader. Your calm presence and welcoming smile made a huge difference every time we met. On the morning of my bar mitzvah, I was so nervous. But during the tallest blessing, you promised to be there with me every step of the way, and you kept that promise. Thank you for your guidance, encouragement, and for believing in me. Temple Emanu-El is very lucky to have you, and I know all your future mitzvah students will feel just as supported and inspired as I did. Love, Ellie.
When I first started working on my Devar Torah, I had thousands of ideas racing through my head. I wasn't sure which direction to take or if there even was a right path at all. But from the very beginning, Rabbi Budman was by my side. She helped me take my whirlwind of thoughts and shape them into something meaningful. She guided me with patience and care, always encouraging me to express my ideas freely, while also helping me stay focused and grounded. By the end, it didn't feel like work. Instead of, oh, I get to work with Rabbi Budman, it was always, oh, I get to work with Rabbi Budman. It wasn't just work anymore. It became a joy, an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to create something I could truly be proud of. I'm incredibly grateful for Rabbi Budman's support, wisdom, and kindness throughout this entire journey. Thank you so much for being a steady and inspiring presence by my side.
When I first heard that I had to change my guide rabbi to a new one that had never led a bat mitzvah before, I was very nervous. I wasn't sure that I wanted to be the first bat mitzvah that rabbi ever led, but I'm so glad it turned out the way it did. Rabbi Budman was so supportive and especially cheerful throughout the entire process, and I'm so grateful that she became my rabbi. And I feel very honored and lucky to always be Rabbi Budman's first bat mitzvah at Temple Emanu-El. Congratulations and best wishes on your journey to come.
Hi, my name is Rafaela Budman, no relation. A long time ago, yes, but not today. When I first met Rabbi Budman, I loved her immediately, and not only because we shared her last name, but because she was fun and supportive, but most importantly, she loved what she did, and she made it fun to actually learn, even if that meant waking up early. Congratulations on this amazing accomplishment.
Shema, page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha v'chol nafshecha u'bechol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'vlechtecha b'derech u'shokbecha u'vkumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letzotafot bein einecha u'ktabtam al mezuzot beitecha u'misharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
I'm now honored to invite up Joel Roos, one of our co-temple presidents, to the Bima to share some words in honor of Rabbi Budman.
Shabbat Shalom. Rabbi Budman, as co-president of Congregation Emanu-El, I'm here on this special Shabbat, representing my co-president John Holman, who is not supposed to be here, but he just arrived from New York City. So, welcome, John, and also representing the board, as well as the greater Congregation Emanu-El community, to formally install you tonight as our rabbi educator. While being co-president of an 1,800 family congregation is a pretty substantial task, the benefits are enormous. Among the benefits is being a part of the selection of our clergy, and in so doing, helping to shape the future of our community. Given that we have 585 students in our YFE program, the influence that you can make, and I know you already have had made, on this cohort is profound. And I think back on my teen years we didn't call it YFE at the time, back in Pennsylvania, and I can say tonight that it was not a fun experience. It took me years to re-engage as a young adult. As we will hear from others tonight, actually we've already heard from others tonight, Rabbi Budman, you are instrumental in maintaining the glue between our preschoolers and our young adults. You're helping to make good Jews. Over the years, we've interviewed and selected numerous young rabbis to become pulpit rabbis. Our pursuit and selection of a rabbi dedicated to education is relatively new to Emanu-El. And when we interviewed you, we pushed you a bit. What is it in you that wants to be an educator rabbi? And you answered very clearly that it was your experience in both NIFTY and your experience at URJ Kutz Camp that really changed your life and influenced your decision to devote yourself to educating young people. And we love the fact that you were so clear in understanding the importance of that role. You've been with us for almost a year. Your impact, as we saw tonight, is enormous. And as a footnote, when we interviewed, we all stepped away and said, not only is she whip smart, but she's affable and always has a smile on her face. You must know that being accessible, available to the YFE students is critical to the enjoyment of learning here at Emanu-El. And of top importance to us in the selection of the new rabbi educator was finding someone who could work with the established team, which we heard about tonight. And over the last 2 decades, Ariana and her team have developed an enviable YFE program. Since you joined Ariana and her team, as you heard this evening, the reports from the YFE group is that you are a remarkable collaborator. So with the opening of the new building in a couple of months, a new space dedicated to the YFE program, you're just about to take on the best program in the country, both as an educator and spatially. So mazel tov from me, John, and your board.
We're all so lucky, and I'm lucky because when I go to camp with you, I really feel like I'm just back at camp, like really back at camp. And that also applies whenever I just walk into the office and see you, filled with gratitude. We're on page 373. Elna Rifana Elna Rifana Elna Rifana Rifua Shlema.
Tonight, our community is praying for the healing of Rusty Holden, Chaya Bluma, Rick Silverman, Sharon Groff, Sam Nossiter, Robert Osheroff, Nersi Busina, Rachmaela Ben Leah Vamoshe, and Burton Jackson. If there's a name you'd like to add to that list, somebody you're thinking of right now, somebody that you're praying for their healing and their strength, please share their name out loud as I pass my hand around the room. Rabbi Budman and I started at Emanu-El on the same day. And because we're both rabbis, similar ages, similar heights, similar hair, every week we get mistaken for one another. It's a big congregation. People come up to me and say, "Oh, I love the way that you're leading the religious school." And I say, "Thank you." But truly, getting to know Rabbi Budman, and especially hearing her teach and hearing the way that the wisdom flows so naturally and so authentically from her, I am so honored to be mistaken for her. And I'm so delighted with the way that the amazing young people and teenagers, especially in our community, connect with her. And so I get to call up some of those incredible teenagers who have already benefited so much from her wisdom. I get to call up Natalia, the head of our youth group, ITY, and Hannah Coleman. Please join us on the bima.
Shabbat Shalom. The first time I met Rabbi Budman was when I interviewed her during her hiring process. She gave me and a few others a lesson on Taylor Swift in the Torah. I never had a chance to provide feedback, so I'm going to do that now. Rabbi Budman, you have been an amazing addition to the Emanu-El community. I love being able to connect with you about our shared love of camp, Nifty, and talk to you about what's been going on in my life. Your bright energy adds so much to every room you are in. I am so grateful for all you have done, and I can't wait to continue to tell you every time I hear another Taylor Swift conspiracy theory or see another reason why her music is in the Torah. Although I knew it then, this past year has proved that I would 100% hire Rabbi Budman.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm so overjoyed that we all get to welcome Rabbi Budman tonight. Though we've only known each other for less than a year, I'm so grateful to know her. It feels like every Wednesday we have bonded over taking the same AP classes and our shared love for chocolate-covered espresso beans. And our connection grows stronger every week. I love talking with her because she's amazing at listening and giving really great advice. And I look up to her as a role model, and she's so incredibly supportive of me. And I'm so happy that I get to support her tonight too. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. We'd love to, no, stay. We'd love to invite some more young people up to the bima. I know you're here to help sing this prayer tonight for us. Come, Hashkivenu. Come. Everybody, are we ready? Here we go.
Shalom.
Everyone together. Thank you.
Page 46. Please rise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach u'fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
We take a moment for silent prayer, and if you're standing when you're done, please be seated.
And the rabbi is teaching little children the alphabet. Oifen pripechik brennt der Feieren und in Stubes heiß und der Rebbe lernt kleine Kinderlech dem Aleph Beis und der Rebbe lernt kleine Kinderlech dem Aleph Beis.
For our teachers and their students and the students of the students, we ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. And for those who study Torah here and everywhere, may they be blessed with all they need, and let us say Amen.
So I'm hoping at this point everyone has a sense of just how lucky we are. It's probably the words that I hear the most is, how did we get so lucky? So I don't want to just sit on how we're lucky. I want to zoom back and talk about what we're actually doing here, and I guess ultimately what you're doing here. Because when you became a rabbi, hands were laid upon your head, and you were given smicha, and then you were given this big grand certificate that has 4 primary words on it. Yireh, Yireh, Yadin, Yadin. And the reason we repeat the words is because that's the way you emphasize the words. You don't ever sit there and there's no bold and underline in the Torah, so you double it. And Yireh, Yireh means you should teach and you should judge. And that's the task that you've been given. Now, becoming a rabbi of the people of Israel, of all of Israel, it means that you are now entrusted with a chain of tradition. You're entrusted with carrying every single link of that chain of tradition, which is spooled behind you beyond what your vision can even see. You carry those chains all the way back to Moses at Sinai. And his links, which are tied to our people in the desert, which are tied to the links which go back to our earliest days in Jerusalem, tied to the links of our first exile when the temple was destroyed and we went to Babylon, tied to the tears and the joy that also came from that journey, which are then tied to the links of when we returned to Israel, when we rebuilt, and then when we were expelled again. They're tied to our times of upheavals, tied to our times of great celebrations, tied to the golden ages, and also tied to our darkest of ages. They're tied to the Inquisition and to the expulsion of Jewish thought, and then the explosion of Jewish thought and mysticism. Tied to wars, tied to anti-Semitism, and you carry those links from the barracks of Auschwitz to the dancing in the streets of Israel when it was established, to the greatest golden age in all of Judaism has ever seen, and now you sit here carrying all of that with you as you become a rabbi for the people of Israel. And you're instructed, Yireh, Yireh, Yadin, Yadin. And you become entrusted to be the one that teaches and interprets and understands how the traditions translates to this moment, sometimes even through Taylor Swift, so that our generation can thrive and then add another gorgeous link in that huge chain. Now, you've already been entrusted in that among the people of Israel. That's what smicha was. You've already taught us. You've seen the way our community has already been touched. This night, this installation is about calling you, but it's also about calling all of us forth and daring us to be a community that stands with you and sits at your feet as you translate the light of the Torah to us. To bring together the wholeness of the heavens with the brokenness of this earth. Tonight is about us as a community blessing you as our link to the lineage of prophets and sages. We are seeking for you to not just to explain the rituals to us, but to help us in restoring their meaning. Now, we as a clergy and congregants, we do not install a rabbi as an administrative duty, but we do so as a covenantal obligation. It's to declare that we are on this journey with you, learning and seeking truth, as messy as that might be along this journey. That's what we're trying to do. And we're asking you to challenge us with the same depth as Adam was challenged in the Garden of Eden when he was asked by God, "Where are you?" And so we gather not to inaugurate, but to affirm that we will walk with you on this journey. And it's not something that one rabbi or a group of rabbis and cantors can do alone, but it's something an entire community does together, because this is a covenant. And so I'm going to invite everyone to please rise. Rabbi Budman, I'm going to ask you to join us in the middle with all of the rabbis and the cantors. And I'm going to ask everyone to come and move all the way into the middle and take your sheet with you, because we're going to offer our rabbi a blessing. And so come and squish all the way in. I'm going to have you place your hands on the rabbi, or just like a challah.
May I touch you?
Okay? Or place your hands on someone who touches the rabbi. And take a big, deep breath in. We ask God's blessing on our own Rabbi Madeline Budman. Please join me. Rabbi, may you be blessed with wisdom and compassion to teach and comfort those in need. May you be supported by our congregation. May Torah and tradition be a source of joy for you. And may you be blessed with insight and inspiration as you teach Torah to us. May words of wisdom come from your lips and compassion fill your heart as we all move together from strength to strength. And can I get a big amen? Amen!
I'm really overwhelmed. So I'm glad that we stow tissues under here for our Bar Mitzvah families, and I know exactly where they are. When students receive the red binders that hold their Torah portions at our Bar Mitzvah orientation, I tell them, all Torah is good Torah. And rabbis do have their favorite piece of Torah. Mine is found in Parshat Nitzavim, Deuteronomy 30:11 through 14. Surely this instruction which I give you today is not too difficult for you, nor is it out of your reach. It is not in heaven for you to say, "Who can go up to heaven and get it and explain it to us?" Nor is it beyond the sea for you to say, "Who can cross the sea and get it for us?" No, this Torah is very close to you, in your mouth, in your heart, so that you may do it. As a rabbi, this is my ideal, that the community I serve embraces this sacred responsibility, engaging with Torah and making it alive and relevant for us today. As an educator, this is my goal, that every student of every age discovers how very close our Torah is to them, confidently sharing it from their hearts and living it through their actions. And as your newly installed rabbi educator, I am profoundly honored to find this ideal and work towards this goal at Congregation Emanu-El. Tonight has more than demonstrated the warmth, depth, and joy of Emanu-El. I could tell from even my initial interview that this community strives for excellence, encourages curiosity and creativity, and is full of people who give their all for others. The Torah is not in heaven or beyond the sea, but if it was, I know that the congregants, parents, teachers, staff, lay leaders, board members of Emanu-El would go up to heaven and cross the sea in a heartbeat and bring it to us. We know that the Torah is not somewhere out of reach, though, because of all of the incredible young people in this sanctuary who have proved that it is firmly in their mouths and their hearts. To all of the students who have participated tonight, thank you. You have each taught me so much already, and I cannot wait to keep learning with you and from you in the years ahead. I could stand up here for an hour and still run out of time to express the immense gratitude that I'm feeling in this moment, but I promised Rabbi Paris that I would keep it brief, so I'll do my best. Thank you to my family and my dear friends who have traveled from across the Bay Area and across the country to be here this Shabbat. Your support means the world to me, and I am thrilled that you can experience for yourselves why I love this place so much. And I would literally not be standing here if it weren't for my husband, Rabbi Aaron Torah. We never imagined ourselves in California, but when the Temple Isaiah community fell in love with you and we fell in love with them, we knew that we would take this leap. And we never could have imagined that just a couple of weeks after Aaron accepted the assistant rabbi position at Temple Isaiah, Congregation Emanu-El would announce the search for a new rabbi educator, and that I would be hired for my dream job. Aaron, thank you for your partnership, your support, and your love. I'm so grateful for the life that we are building here together. I feel unbelievably lucky to wake up every morning and go to work as Emanu-El's rabbi educator for so many reasons. And chief among them is that I am a part of not one, but two incredible teams. Thank you to my clergy colleagues, Rabbi Bauer, switch sides, Rabbi Mintz, Rabbi Paris, Rabbi Noah, Rabbi Rena, Cantor Addy, and Cantor Luck. You embraced me from day one, and you have inspired me every day since. I'm so grateful that I get to collaborate with and learn from each of you. And of course, thank you to my youth and family education team. Thank you to our nearly 30 teachers and over 100 teen madrachimot. And thank you most of all to Ariana Stoke, Natalia Gomsh, and Tori Starks. It has been an honor to do this sacred work with you, making joyous Judaism come alive for every single one of the students in our school. This is truly the dream team, and we're just getting started. It is a privilege to be a part of this community, full of so much Torah in each of our hearts. I cannot wait to keep working together to bring it to life through our actions in the years ahead. Shabbat Shalom.
So as Rabbi Budman mentioned, she's joining not one but two teams, and so now your clergy team colleagues have a final blessing to offer you. We're all going to head on up to the bima, to the high bima together. Please rise as we open the ark.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light continue to shine so brightly on you and so deeply through you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
God's face lift up over you
and grant you abundant and beautiful peace.
Amen.
We come to the end of our tefillah, and we turn to page 294 as we prepare for these moments of memory. And before we say the names of those who have gone before us, I just wanted to share with you, Rabbi, that I think about the words of Rabbi Bauer of memory and how important memory is in this Shalshelet Kabbalah, this chain, and that it has been such a difficult time to be a rabbi. And you are a member of a team of people. And there are rabbis all over this country who are working by themselves, and you are not. And what an incredible blessing you are. But don't forget that we are always here for you. We are a strong chain together. So remember that. This week, we take into our hearts the Shloshim, the honored memory from the last 30 days. Joyce Temkin, Peter Ginocchio, Rebecca Eve White, John Edward Gilmore, Susan Mortel, Robert Metzger, and Melvin Seymour, as well as those whose yahrzeits, the anniversary of their death, falls on this Shabbat. Valerie Atkins, Richard Bickey, Julia Splach, Leo Brandis, Martin H. Braun, Josiah Eschel-Brill, Donald Chaikin, Doreen Cody, Edward M. Kaufman, Lydia Culasso, Jacob Aaron Dehovitz, Sarah Delson, Betty Swig-Dinner, Helene Edelson, Molly Friend, Marvin Fuchs, Florence Goldby, Rosa Ewing Goldman, Sylvia Goldstein, Galia Gordon, James W. Hartman, Michael Hawk, Richard P. Inslander, Maya Israelovich, Milton Jasper, Eleanor G. I. Jokamek, Rosalie Kane, Richard Caton, Melville Kaufman, Sylvia Kay, Sophia Kodek, Helen Nee, Beatrice L. Krause, Herbert Lang, Helen Lazar, Bert Leitstein, Milton Levins, Claire Matzker Lilienthal, Shirley R. Lipschitz, Evelyn Meyer Merker, Eleanor Willard Miller, Thomas Miranda, Ada Moser, Theodore Myers, Henry Orlovsky, Robert Irwin Parquet, Jay Pidto, Ben Pomerantz, Ann Quadri, Teresa Reiner, David Roa, Irvine Robbins, William Joseph Roos, Burton Rosen, Louis B. Rovins, Norman A. Rubin, Eva Sampson, Louis Schreiber, Barbara Hyman Shapiro, Henry Sikular, Esther Siegel, Pauline Cohn-Silverman, Lucy Simkowitz, Corinne Sobel, Edward Ted Stiefel, and Walter Tick, E.D. Wertheim. And for all of those who are remembering someone today, please rise. And we will rise now in support of our mourners on page 294 and say these holy words of blessing together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach Yeruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael, v'agola v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu, leila mincho birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah min Shemayan, l'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
At this time, I want to ask everybody to please take your Siddur, your prayer book, find a safe spot for it, as long as it's not the floor, but you're going to want to put it down somewhere. And then if the person next to you is okay with it, find their shoulder with your arm. We are praying fervently for the release of our hostages. We are praying fervently for an end to the war. We are praying for shalom for every inhabitant of the earth, v'al kol yoshvei tevel. And we do so together. Oh, say shalom b'roma. Oh, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
Shabbat shalom. A few quick announcements. They're so quick you'll stay standing and you won't resent me. Okay, so one of the great Jewish teachers of our time, Yossi Klein Halevi, is coming here on Wednesday, May 21st at 7 p.m. If you've never heard of him, you should. You should come hear him. There are actually almost 400 people signed up already. So if you don't come, people will say to you, did you hear that great guy at Emanu-El this week? And you will feel FOMO. You will feel sad that you missed out. He's talking about Israel. He's talking about Zionism. He's talking about anti-Semitism and the Jewish future. And he's just so engaging and thoughtful and clear. So please join us. Our last Marin Shabbat, if you live in Marin or if you don't, you are invited to come to Marin Shabbat at Pizza Hacker on Friday, May 16th at 5:30 p.m. On Sunday, June 22nd, there is a tour of the cemetery called Buried Treasures, where you can join historian Judy Leff and Rabbi Jonathan Singer for a look at the buried treasures who reside in our lovely, beautiful space. And finally, if you are feeling overwhelmed about the state of the world right now, we invite you to join us every single Thursday at 12 p.m. We have 15 minutes on Zoom for anybody who wants to do one thing. We just take 15 minutes to learn 5 minutes of Torah, and then we do one action. We call a senator, we write a letter, and we are just trying to build together as a community a better world. So what we're going to do next is we're going to say the blessings over the wine and the challah, and we have a new tradition that we're doing it in the foyer so that you get to know one another. So you have to introduce yourselves to people you don't know, but let the clergy out first and let our amazing Bar Mitzvah families out first so that they can get to that table. Bring your books with you and come join us in the foyer. Shabbat Shalom.